My name is Dwayne Snow. I live in Janesville, Wisconsin. I'm the tournament director for the World Water Ski Show tournament to be held next weekend, September 14th through 16th, at Traxler Park here in Janesville. I've been a member of the Rock Aqua Jays Water Ski Club since 1972. I've had the pleasure of being on both the board of directors as well as a skier for the show. I've had the opportunity to drive boat, and I was one of the originators of the National Water Ski Show tournament, which was held here just a couple of weeks ago. There's a lot of work that goes into these tournaments. We have to do all the paperwork, get the usual stuff out of the way, like getting our parent organization, which is USA Water Ski, involved in it. They have to give us a sanction form, and we pay a sanction fee, and then we get officials for these events. Then we have to notify the teams that we're hosting one of these tournaments and get them to join the event. Then we have to set up our water ski club in order to host the event, which involves the entire team. Then if the team also competes in it, then we kind of insulate the skiers away from some of the work. However, everybody is expected to pitch in and do their part. But everybody has to do a little bit when it comes to putting these events on. The tournaments have been pretty much set in place for a number of years. We send out invitations to all of the teams that are listed with the USA Water Ski organization. If you're a water ski show team and you're listed with them, then you would have got an invitation to compete at the event. However, there are only so many spots that are available in a 2-day period in order to compete. We go by postmark date, and the earliest ones, of course, get an opportunity to compete. The same thing goes for the regional tournament, which is held in Wisconsin Rapids, as well as the National Water Ski Show tournament, which does travel around the country. However, Janesville has had the opportunity to hold that tournament several times. First off, you submit an entry form with the entry fee. Each one, it changes with the type of tournament that it is. Mercury Open doesn't cost as much as the Wisconsin State tournament to enter, and obviously that doesn't cost as much as it does to enter the National Water Ski Show tournament. So these fees are set by the host organization, and they take into account all of the things that they're going to be paying for themselves. It costs quite a bit of money to put these tournaments on. It's by no means just send out an invitation and you show up with boats and you go ahead and water ski and have a great old time, because as you can well imagine, it costs money for the concessions, and it costs money for trophies. It costs money for when you have officials there and you have to set your site up. So all of these things incur costs. And however, we have categorically never charged to get into any of these tournaments, as we want to provide family-oriented entertainment for the citizens in and around Janesville. The World Water Ski Show tournament is going to be just a little bit different this year. We are mainly supported by the generosity of the citizens of Janesville, in and around the citizens of Janesville, or the city of Janesville, I should say. However, we do have some extremely good sponsors. Mercury Marine is a sponsor, the Janesville Gazette. We have Mercy Hospital is a sponsor, of course, and a lot of other organizations in and around Janesville, as well as some are a little bit farther away, that do help sponsor our team, and that's how we generate most of the income that our club uses. The International Water Ski and Wakeboard Federation, which is housed in Switzerland, conceived the idea of a World Water Ski Show tournament, since there are so many teams now that are getting to be known throughout the world. A lot of other countries have water ski shows, in themselves. Belgium has one, France has one, Spain has a show, Germany has a show, as well as China. And they all kind of said, hey, we'd like to have a water ski show tournament at some time or another. What should we do about it? So the International Water Ski and Wakeboard Federation said, hey, maybe we should have a World Water Ski Show tournament. They conceived the idea, they put the idea out there, and the chairman of the international committee that is at the USA Water Ski said, I think we should put out for bids here in this country as well. So we learned of this. We assembled a bid. Our president, Joel Shapiro, did a wonderful job in assembling a bid to host this event. And we bid against Korea and China and the Wisconsin Rapids Aqua Skiers, who hosts the Wisconsin State Tournament. And after reviewing the bids and a little bit of prompting by, I think, by the international committee, they chose Janesville as our site is a world-class site. We and the city of Janesville have done a marvelous job with Traxler Park in terms of where we put on our water ski shows. And through the help of the city of Janesville, we really have done a lot of good there. We have handicapped seating areas. We have a stage that is 10 feet wide, 150 feet long, and it's filled with chopped up rubber for skier safety, so they don't have to just stand on concrete. We have a huge starting dock that's adjustable for water levels, and without the city's help, however, I don't think that we'd be as far as we are in the quality of tournaments that we can produce. In the specifications that were laid out in the letter of agreement from the International Water Ski and Wakeboard Federation, each team is allowed 35 water skiers. And in those 35 skiers, they have to have their boat drivers, their announcers, their sound people, rope handlers. All of these people are encapsulated in that 35-person team. So, no, it's not going to be the Rock Aqua Jays against them. However, the Rock Aqua Jays have 8 members on Team USA. Team USA is comprised of 35 of the best skiers that they could get together from the United States. And I might add that some of the skiers I know personally from my past experience with them, and they are going to be fun to watch. It would be a person would be remiss not to come down and watch this event. These are just the best water skiers in the country, and they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. So each team coming from the other countries can only have 35 people, and the reason for that is so it holds your expenses down. As you can imagine, and those who have had an opportunity to watch the Aqua Jays have seen how much material and equipment that they put on the water. So it would be impractical for them to ship that much material over here to this country and an attempt to put on a water ski show that would rival what the Rock Aqua Jays do. As far as who chose them, no, the co-show directors were Chris Copeland and Matt Heilman, and both of these people were past and present show directors for the water ski team in Madison called the Mad City Ski Team. They were chosen by the National Show Ski Association to be the co-show directors for Team USA. Then NSSA and Chris and Matt had reviewed all of the applicants, and then they made the choice for the skiers. In order to make things more equal, the International Water Ski and Wakeboard Federation said, if you're going to host this event, you must provide 2 inboard-style towboats and 1 twin-motored outboard-style towboat for each team to use. And so they made the playing field a little more level, that everybody has to use these same boats. They won't be shipping a great deal of equipment over, like the backdrops and a lot of things like that, if once again you went to an Aqua Jay show, you would see this. It's going to be devoid of that. There will be costuming, however. And to help these teams defray the cost, we've adopted a program called Adopt a Team. And what we did was we wrote up the parameters for a team to adopt a team from overseas to help them. They're going to provide them with skis and ropes and vests, wetsuits, harnesses, safety equipment. The team that is going to host a team from overseas is going to provide all this equipment. And when we sent out the word that we need teams to host teams from overseas, we got an overwhelming response, way more teams than we had teams to sponsor. It was very gratifying to see that. They've known about this ever since last October. And I personally know Team USA has had practices in Winter Haven, Florida. So they've had an opportunity to ski together. And since all of them are experienced show skiers in one form or another, many of them are professional water ski show people. The idea of going and putting together a show is not a new thing to them. It's just the scheduling, the timing, things like that. The flow of the show, how you get from one act to another act is very important. Or is there a big time lapse in between each one where you walk out on the dock and you get your skis ready and you throw the rope to the boat driver, that sort of thing. Well, that's old school. Now you have to have a smooth transition from one act to another act so that you're not sitting in the bleachers as a spectator going, oh, this is really boring to watch. So that's going to be the hardest part for a lot of these teams to adjust to. I think the only ones that are going to be having any trouble at all are the teams from Belgium and China. And the only reason I say that is they have an entirely different method of skiing over there than we do here. However, Belgium does have a professional show, and so many Americans have gone over there and skied as well. So they're familiar with how to put a show together. The Chinese, when they competed against American teams, and many of the Rock Aqua Jays are there as we speak. They're having another competition going on right now. The Chinese will ski an act, and then the Americans will ski an act, and then the Chinese will ski an act, and the Americans will ski an act. So when they come here now, they have to have the ability to flow from one act to the next act to the next act. And that's where the host teams come in. The host teams that are here in the United States ski competitively in the nationals and their own regional tournament, and they're quite familiar with how this process goes. So the end result is that they know what they're doing, and they will be able to help these teams put together a show and have the flow work much better. And these teams will go back to their home countries going, hey, we now have a new perspective on how to put a water ski show together. Once again, the teams are from Australia, Belgium, Canada, China, and of course Team USA. And the format for the competition will be Friday night will be the opening ceremonies, and that starts at 5:30. Then the competition for each day starts at 8:30. That's when the setup time for the teams starts. They get 20 minutes to set up their show, get all their stuff ready, set their sounds up, get their mic levels checked, etc., etc. And then they'll start skiing at 9 o'clock. We'll ski 3 teams, and then we're going to take a 1-hour lunch break. And then we'll ski the last 2 teams, and then that'll be the competition for the day. The scores will come out, and that will set the running order for the next day. The lowest scored team will ski first on Sunday, with the highest scoring team skiing last on Sunday. Then we'll have the award ceremony, and that'll be the end of the tournament, pretty much. We have some social events that I might add we're going to do for the teams when they get here. Most of the teams will be here. All of the teams will be here on Tuesday the 11th. They're going to be housed in the several motels that we have around the city of Janesville. We have a social event on Wednesday night called A Night at the Gardens. The Rotary Gardens was kind enough to put together a program where we're going to have all the teams down there, their guests, and they're going to be treated to a tour of the gardens, a light dinner, and then a social hour. And then we'll be drawing for the running order for Saturday's competition. That's how we will arrive at the running order for Saturday. We have a social event on Saturday night called a cookout. This is sponsored by the Rock County Farm Bureau. We're going to have a cookout at Johnson Tractor Factory, or facility, I should say. And all the teams are invited, and their family and friends and some guests. And the Rock County Farm Bureau has gone out of their way to provide us with this event. It should be a great deal of fun. Once again, it's another opportunity for all these teams to kind of like exchange ideas, get to know each other, tell each other some stories, and just have a good time. Wednesday all day until 4 o'clock. Each team has a set time that they'll be allowed to practice, and they are hour-and-a-half practice sessions. Each of the 5 teams has a practice session on Wednesday. Same thing for Thursday, and the same thing for Friday until 4 o'clock. So I would really like to see if people have an opportunity to come down and watch. It should be a very interesting thing. There are no charges for the practice times. The only charge is Saturday and Sunday. There is a $5 ticket charge for ages 6 and up. So Friday, if somebody would come in to watch the opening ceremonies and want to buy both Saturday and Sunday's armband, they could do so, and then they wouldn't have to go through that line on Saturday and Sunday. If they had an opportunity to come to the National Water Ski Show Tournament, we're going to utilize Traxler Park, the park just south of Hyatt Street, where they had the mud volleyball. That'll be a parking area. And if we run into a situation, which I hope we run into, of needing further space, we're going to put them out at the Parker Penn lot north of Blackbridge Road, and then we will have a shuttle bus going from there to Traxler Park. There's going to be a beer tent there. If you enjoy a cold beer and great water skiing, I invite you down to Traxler Park on Saturday and Sunday to watch probably some of the most astounding water ski show talent that not only this country, but 4 other countries has to offer. If you miss this event, then you're going to be sorry that you didn't have an opportunity to see it. It should be fun.